we're live. And I don't know who's here, what we're doing, but we're going to be here anyhow. This is Lynn and my partner Scott's here, and we're showing up. And this is Santa, Grinch, and the reason for the season. We'll be right back after this.
Grab your friends, find your enemies and make amends, and we'll meet in the middle. Take the pride and set it aside. My hands will build you a shield, and we'll solve the riddle.
Hey, we're alive and we are here. Hey, I'm pinching myself. Yes, the dog's here, so we are here. We're
Yeah,
live.
that dog must have like a timer on it to know that the show's starting. Because it happened last week too. You know, you start the show, dog starts barking. Oh well. How are you, Lynn?
I'm doing fabulous. And there's my Laura, the Queen of South Carolina. I love you, Miss Laura. Thank you for being here, the beauty queen. Well, welcome everybody.
South Carolina actually has a queen.
Many queens.
Do they have a king?
Yes. Yes.
Look who else is here.
Mama Sandy. And by the way, you guys, I'm super excited. And you know, I really feel awful because my sweet Scott Ricard, we have had snow here. I haven't even gotten to mail. I promised this man a book. I will get him a book. I really will. This is really awesome because Scott and I are both running the ship here and we're trying something new. So we are both going to just be bossy and throw things out here. And this is going to,
I got to throw my Janet up there because Janet has been listening to Live Out Loud podcast, the podcast I do with Gary. You were a guest host last week, and she's been with us for like 3 years listening to us. She's been loyal. She's been fantastic. So thanks for being here. And of course we've got Karen. Can't forget about Karen. Karen and I, my business partner and best friend. So we definitely everybody's joining in. Thank you guys.
Yes, we are super happy. We're super excited because last week we started our Tuesday night shows, and then I got to co-host with Gary's permission and knowledge from Montana here. I got to be on their show, and that was really exciting. I didn't feel like I was crashing the party or something, but there's so many fun things we're going to be doing.
And Gary joined us. Gary joined us from the cruise ship, which was awesome because he couldn't hear us, but we could see and hear him. So it became like a whole comedy of errors there, but we pulled it off somehow, and we got to see Gary on the cruise ship. Thank God he had a shirt on because I don't think we were ready for that.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Anyway.
Thank you, Laura. I'm so super excited. I went on such a kick. Scott can tell you, I went designing on so many graphics. We have we have graphics for like a whole month or something. Like it's always going to change. We love it. We love it.
One afternoon, it was call after call after call. And Lynn called me saying, look at this one, look at this one, look at this one, look at this one. And she was so excited. But, great job on the graphics, Lynn. Great job.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's all going to change here soon. And you guys, by the way, I just got to plug this in because I'm super excited. I don't know if some of you guys have seen The Biggest Loser back in the day, but on Thursday, I'm going to have one of The Biggest Losers on my show during the day, and it's super, super exciting because I hope he's not watching tonight because I've got surprises. And I that's all I can say. So yeah. And then I've got sometime Forbes Riley wants to do a show with me. Go look her up. She has sold everything on Home Shopping Network. She's an actress. She's an amazing person. I've become friends with her this past year. She's going to be on my show. Like a lot of amazing shit's happening. That's all I can tell you. My network is going to be like the next Oprah. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you. I'm so excited.
We're going to have to track down, see if we can get Dog to join us one day for a few minutes. How'd that sound? We'll have a good time. Dog the Bounty Hunter, somebody I've worked with, friend of mine and Karen's for years. And Dog, if you are out there listening, God bless you, brother. Hope everything's going well with you and your new wife. And Francie, who is just a doll. She's a dream. So I'm so happy for Dog and his new wife and their new life. And I hope everything's going well.
And Scott,
but maybe we'll have them on.
And Scott, don't tell him, hopefully he's not watching now, because I do on the Live, Love, Laugh, and Let Go Out Loud, my guests, I honor them with like other people saying little things to honor them publicly. So hopefully he's not watching, because then what we can do is an honor show to him. So hopefully he's not watching tonight.
Where are we going to get people? From the jail? Yeah, I like Dog. He was the nicest guy to ever put handcuffs on me.
No, it'll be everybody else to say, Dog, I'm glad you got that person off the road. That kind of people.
Lynn, look, we got a new fan.
Aw, thank you, Mike. Michael, he's never really told me what I should call him. I think he wanted me to call him sweetie or babe or something, but that's just, I don't know.
You can call me sweetheart. I'm in love with you. Okay, all right.
Oh my gosh. Don't make me get started with the singing stuff, because I can't really sing, and I've been trying, and the best I could get is this.
I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas from the bottom of my heart.
That was perfect.
I need all the help I can get. That's as good as I can get.
Listen, everybody can sing, Lynn. You don't have to have a great voice to sing. If that was the truth, nobody would have ever heard of Bob Dylan. Nobody, Snoop Dogg would be broke if you had to have a great voice to sing. Come on.
Well, I paid
just got to have fun.
Listen, I paid $19 for a lesson thing. I kid you not. Yeah, Lynn's the one that scrolls down her Facebook, and they throw shit at me, and I'll buy it. If it'll take PayPal, I'll buy it. Okay. And the first lesson, it says like you have to do, it's My Sunshine or whatever, and you have to do it like.
Oh yeah. You gotta purse the lips and do.
Someday when I get the balls enough, I will show you the recording of me trying to do that. It's hilarious, but not hilarious enough for me to humiliate myself at the moment.
Yeah, then you got to do all these different things like red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, which I can't even do. I love singing, but I can't do those things. I can't do that stuff. All right. Hey, well, you know what? You sang a Christmas carol. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. Since it's not really a carol, it's a song. But Christmas is coming.
Yes, it is.
Are you like one of those people that has already done all your shopping and done all your stuff?
No.
Have you done any of it yet?
No, because if I buy anything, I have to give it to you right away.
Oh, see, you're like one of those terrible Santas. No, actually, kids love that because, you buy them a present, you think you're going to put it away, you give it to them, and I got to go buy them another present.
Yeah, pretty much. As a matter of fact, I'm so bad about stuff like that you keep talking. I'm going to show you something. I am so bad. Don't tell me not to open something before before I'm supposed to either. Because I'll show you how bad I am.
So you can't be in one of those houses, and I see in your background, you got a Christmas tree with presents under. You can't have one of those houses with a bunch of presents under the tree that sit there for a week before Christmas. What would happen to you? Is this like some sort of psychotic break we might have or something?
No, I just will. I have not ever opened up a present, but I would be pretty tempted to be opening up a present, but then I wonder why my kids used to do that stuff. Yeah.
Well, if you're excited about Christmas, probably the hardest thing about Christmas is waiting for the day.
Yeah.
That's probably the hardest thing if you're excited about Christmas.
But in all frankness here, the problem is I was born exactly 2 weeks before Christmas. So you know what would happen? On my birthday, the presents would come out, and Lynn would get one of the presents.
So you never were sure if you were actually getting an early Christmas present or a real birthday present.
Exactly.
Now, did you ever catch anybody in that, or was it just like were your birthday presents wrapped in Christmas wrapping paper?
They were. My birthday presents were. Yeah, there we go. Let's go sit on Santa's lap. I'm ready for that, Janet. But you know what's funny is, look, I was told and hopefully he's not watching, but Jim, that's going to be on my show on Thursday.
Yeah.
He sends me a message and he goes, Lynn, wait till Saturday for this. And I'm like, what's he talking about? Few minutes later, he sends me this, and I'm like, oops. So here we go.
Oh,
This is a very special birthday song and a birthday message for our buddy Lynn. Lynn Serrano, the Long Islander, the Montanian? Well, she's from Montana. She's celebrating the 7th anniversary of her 49th birthday. Happy birthday, Lynn! This is Jimmy the Greek Germanakis, live in Toronto, through New York City and Long Island with a birthday song and a birthday message just for you. It's a song that I wrote, directed, and produced. And I'm going to sing it for you now, live, for your birthday. It's quick, so don't turn away. It goes a little like this. And a 1, and a 2. This is your birthday song, but it's not very long. That's it. Happy birthday!
But seriously, I didn't know what he was like. Wait till Saturday. And I opened it. And he goes, you couldn't wait, could you?
you couldn't wait. You even premiered it out here on the air just now, just as proof that you have no self-control. This is bad. This is bad. We need a therapy session on self-control. On instant gratification and Christmas do not go hand in hand. You must
I'm
be
a
able to
free
wait.
spirit is all I am. That's all I could say.
I mean, I think I learned as a young child because my older brother and I used to try to sneak down and open presents. And I remember one year we were living in Wisconsin or somewhere, I think, and we went through the kitchen to the door to the basement. We had a finished basement with the tree in it and everything. And we got to that door, and my father had used duct tape over every inch of that door. It was, and we knew if one piece of that tape was disturbed, that was our ass. So my parents woke to my brother and I sitting on the floor in the kitchen staring at the basement door. That's, so we learned. You have to wait. But you got to wait. You got to wait, Lynn.
No, well, you know what? When my kids were really little, I'd buy them like tons of presents for them to open. Like I just loved, and then I would be the mom that would wrap things between wrapping them but from little to big boxes to big boxes to big boxes, so that if they did try to open the presents any other time, then they would get caught. Yeah. Yep, I do that.
They get caught with 48 boxes and still no present.
And then I was the girlfriend that also that I'd buy like a personalized tie tack or something like this, and I'd have the big box, and make heavy things and this and that. Yeah. And wrap and heart. Yeah. That was so much fun.
Yes, but it's not environmentally friendly, is it?
We didn't worry about that shit back then. I didn't know shit about global warming.
I've done a few of those gag gifts where you wrap something inside something, but my biggest problem on Christmas used to be, and it's not anymore, but it used to be that I would number the presents so that the kids would open them in the proper order. Because my panic was if they opened the video game before they open the video game system, it'll give something away. Yeah.
I've done that.
I've had to, and I would actually sit and think about it. And the night before, put numbers on each present and set them up so that the kids would open them. I was it was so anal retentive pain in the ass.
No, I've done that. But so they wouldn't mess up, I would leave those components out, I would go back, so I wouldn't mess up. But Janet, I love Janet already because she's Sagittarius as well. And Lisa Patrick, I'm going to have her on my show. She's written a book. It's an honor to have you here. Lisa, I love you. And thank you for being here. She's up in Canada. Love you.
Excellent.
So,
Excellent.
yeah. It's, it's funny. But, Santa is a good thing for kids to have memories and, a little Grinchy things. But, the reason for the season, as you and I were talking about, Christ and Jesus and all that stuff. But most of all, people forget it's a time of year we do get together. We gather together because why? The freaking stores are closed. You can't go shopping. You can't go to work. You're stuck in the house because it's freaking cold. Wait, that's when we lived in New York. But anyhow, most of the time you're stuck. I mean, you're usually with people, right? So you should make the best of it. And you and I spoke a little bit earlier, and I know you feel the same way, but it's in my heart to always say that it saddens me that we why is it that we always have to wait for somebody to pass to actually find or remember or recall something good to say about somebody?
Yeah.
And so we should really take this time, even if it's very gut-wrenching difficult to be with your family or friends, reflective of those good things that you like about them and qualities, and say, you know what? This is only for a day. This is only for 4 hours. This is for 3 hours. Let's make these memories. Let's clear what we can. Let's make the best of the time we have so that I can remember this, because this may be the last time. And I hate to say this, but why does it have to take the word COVID, or why does it, speed things up, or the realization of COVID? Screw the word COVID. We were all going to die anyways. It should be reminded, what does it take for us to have to realize that no freaking minute is promised on this earth? That's why I feel so important of doing podcasts. I encourage people to do videos and recordings and leave people voice messages and do the little goofy happy birthday videos to people. Leave those memories so you can comfort people when you're not here no longer.
Yeah, Lynn, I couldn't agree more. The best part of any of these holiday seasons is spending time with people that you care about, reaching out to somebody who doesn't have somebody, sharing what you have. Listen, there was a time when I thought the biggest gifts under the tree were the most important gifts under the tree. And it turns out it's the food that's put on the table. It's the moments that we spend together. It's the laughter. It's the, it's the people showing up, with open arms and open hearts. And that's what's really important. I love giving gifts. Certainly I love doing it. But I try to be much more thoughtful about it than I used to be. It used to be, I would count, this is how much money I spent on my kids. This is how much money I spent on my girlfriend, or I spent on my wife. And that used to mean something. And now it's about, this is something that they can use. This is something that they care about. And it could be something silly or something stupid, but it's so important. There's so many people out there, Lynn, that just don't have anybody to even sit across from, to sit across from and talk to.
You know what, Scott? I saw you, in June? And what did we do?
Yeah.
We sat on the couch and watched freaking series of Brady Bunch remodeling for freaking hours. Okay, you probably didn't want your friends to know that.
It gets worse, because we watched the Brady Bunch, remodeling the Brady house in the Brady Bunch. Then we were so turned on by that, we watched the old Brady Bunch shows.
Yes, and then we watched Friends too, the reunion.
Yeah, the Friends reunion. Well, of course.
But the bottom line is it reminded us of growing up. We just, we held hands, we hugged, we watched TV. It was just peaceful. It was, no phones, just chilling out. It was just to be. It was just to be in the moment, And it's the simple things in life that we just take for granted.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
we get wrapped up in the wrong things. We do that all year.
Yeah.
Christmas should not be the time for us to do that. Listen, we get wrapped up in going to work. We get wrapped up in doing our jobs. We get wrapped up in making a paycheck. We get wrapped up in all that stuff. And then Christmas comes around and we add more stress to ourselves when we shouldn't. That's when we should let go of the stress and think about what's truly important. Sitting around with your family, decorating a tree together, any of those things. That's what's really important. I missed a lot of that. Because I was always chasing something bigger and better. My brother used to call it the bigger, better deal. No matter what's in front of you, you're always looking for something more. Stop looking for the bigger, better deal. Get together. Oh, Janet, look what she just says right here. This is really good.
Yep.
Shut off the damn cell phones during dinner and communicate with each other.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Janet. Great point.
Well, and the thing is how many times, and that I guess everybody loved me being a house guest, because one thing I felt because when I've had people come over my house, or when I've done functions or things like that, you have a party, you host a party. It's all great. And you're like, oh my gosh, does this person have a good time? Did this person have a good time? But you're like, oh shit, I never actually talked to anybody.
Yeah.
And so the problem is that when somebody comes to your house, you're like, oh, okay, we're going here to be there at this time. And we're going here, and we're going there, and we're doing this and that. You didn't really spend time. And I was like, my biggest thing was look, there's no pressure. Let's just There's nothing that we have to do. We'll go to the grocery store. I made sure that there was no pressure. If we wanted to go here or there, we would do it, but it was like no pressure, because most of the time when they have guests come into town, it was we got to take them where I've been 150 times to the same
Yeah.
museum. We had to go to the same place. I wasn't going to do that to anybody. And not that I'm saying that's bad when you go to where they historically live, where everybody wants see the same thing. But what I'm saying is it really is nice to just smell the roses, smell fresh air, calm down, and just appreciate that person and remember that moment, because it's always just constantly going and it goes too fast. I mean, look at our kids. When they were little, we were like, oh my gosh, when are they going to grow up? And now they grew up. It's the Cat in the Cradle song. Remember? Cats in the Cradle.
Absolutely. Cats in the Cradle. Harry Chapin.
Yeah.
It's a great statement is, we're in a rush for the kids to grow up and stop being so dependent upon us. And then one day you turn around and they're not there anymore. And you're wondering, they're off living their lives and doing things. We don't take advantage of that. I want to thank Therese for joining us. And she's laughing because she remembers me talking about Bigger, Better Deal and the BBD, Bigger, Better Deal. And, it's funny because Therese and I were just talking the other day. We were having coffee and talking about, mistakes that we made. And and I was talking about mistakes that I made when we were together when she was living here. And mistakes I made about being focused on the wrong things. And these are all lessons that I'm actually learning now. I'm 55 years old. I'm learning lessons in my life now that, I wish I'd learned in my 20s or my 30s. Right. But I didn't. So now I'm learning them now, and I'm trying to take better advantage of the people that I have, as far as, showing that I love them and showing them that they're important to me and not just taking them for granted. Right. Lynn, there's so many things out there that we could lose. And time is probably the biggest thing. I think losing time. Next year's not soon enough for us to get things done. We need to do it now, people. We need to talk to each other. Put away the Grinch thing. Stop bitching and moaning about everything that's wrong. We the last 2 years, you're right. Bitching and moaning about Corona, bitching and moaning about Trump, bitching and moaning about Biden, bitching and moaning about this, about that, about every other thing. But who's there just to sit there and talk and sit and play a game of chess? And call somebody that you haven't heard from. Reach out to an old friend from high school. There you go.
So don't be a grouch, because nobody wants a grouch for Christmas. Or Grinch. I don't like a Grinch. I'd rather see Santa Claus. I'd rather see Santa Claus than a Grinch.
Just saying.
You just hit your finger on the button waiting for the perfect moment. And that was it. Well done. That was it. She's like, I know Scott's going to go into one of his serious shits real fast. I'm going to get it.
And just so you guys know, our sidekick is Scott's his number one best friend is Teresa. And I just happen to be number 2. And that's okay, because I'm happy with that.
Yeah. And people are chiming in. Sandy, who's my mom, everybody knows out there, my mom said there are always new life lessons. Teresa saying that you're always learning, always growing. And that's the truth.
Yes.
When you stop learning and you stop growing, you're kind of, that means you're dead. Yeah. People always say, well, how do I know I'm done learning? I said, well, are you still breathing? Yeah. Well, then you're not done. We're always learning. Mm-hmm. But here's the lesson. Just don't forget, just stop wasting time. Right. Stop thinking that there's always going to be time to make something up. There's always going to be time to fix something. There's not. Yeah. There's not. Every day I work with people who think they got one more run in them, one more time they can go out and party, one more, and then the next day I get the call that they're gone. We've lost somebody to addiction, to a mental health disorder, because they thought, I don't have to get help today. Maybe I'll get help tomorrow, and they run out of time. And quite honestly, I'm sick of losing. I'm sick of losing people. I'm sick of losing time myself. And, that's why I'm glad that I got people like Lynn in my life, and Teresa in my life, and my family in my life, and my friends, and Gary and Tammy, and all those people, because they remind me, just enjoy today.
Yeah, you're right. And, my biggest thing is about letting go. And it's like that. It's like holding a damn bag of grudges and all this shit. And if you realize, if you let go of all that, you're open to all these different possibilities and open to whatever's possible that you haven't been holding around for 25 freaking 40 years or whatever. It's just like that didn't work for you. Like Dr. Phil says, how's that working for you? And it's just true. It's just, don't be afraid. Just let it go. And it, again, it's one of those things that if what you've been doing hasn't been working, it's not going to change. So why don't you change what you're holding on to? Let that go. And I catch myself all the time because, I grew up in New York and I drove in Long Island and everywhere else. The traffic here, it really isn't bad. But when I get in traffic, I'm like, Lynn, let it go. You're not in the city anymore, And it's just, it's just, yeah, Jersey talk. I'm from Long Island, but I got friends from Jersey, so it's sticking. What can I tell you?
It's close enough. It's close enough.
Yeah,
Long Island talk, Jersey talk. It's all pretty much the same.
I've been talking to Jimmy lately, and I'm getting ready to talk to him on Thursday. You'll be like, Lynn, what the hell happened to you?
Oh, that guy? Oh, no, the two of you guys?
Yeah.
No. Do you ever notice when you get excited that New York comes out of you, or if you're talking to somebody from New York, it really, I lived 20 years in Jersey, and usually I'm fine, but if I get excited, all of a sudden coffee becomes coffee.
Yep.
And it becomes very, and I can't, once I start, I can't stop. And it's like, come on, I just want to talk over a cup of coffee. And people are like, what's wrong with you?
And Scott, it's just like my kids. We'd fly from New York and go to Florida, right? And we get out of Tampa at the airport. And I'm like, okay, bitches, all you New Yorkers here, I'm here too. And my daughter's like, Mom, it's just like, how do you go from like that? I'm like, I know my peeps are here, It's like, I know what I got to do.
Yeah. I mean, what is the Montana accent? Is there an accent that you've noticed?
Yeah. They don't really have an inflection that's like really
nothing that really stands out.
No, not only that, we have a lot of people from California coming in here, so there's some New Yorkers sneaking in, but there's a lot of Californians moving in here and some Texans.
So I've been living in California. I've been like surfing my whole life, hanging out at the beach, Malibu and Topanga Canyon. Where am I going to go that's kind of like this? I don't. Montana. How the hell do they end up in Montana?
Because well, that's a long story for another show.
Another show,
yeah. But we're not talking about the Grinches right now.
No. I mean, I think that we really stated what we wanted to state is that the difference between Santa and the Grinch is, Santa is come closer, talk to me, embrace the moment, be at peace, be happy, love each other. The Grinch is stress out, get solitary, separate yourself from everybody else. And that's not what we want. We want people to come together. Now's more important than ever. Our very families have been fractured by COVID and by distancing and everything else. And putting them back together is going to be really hard. But it's got to start somewhere.
And not only that, because of politics. If it hasn't been because of COVID, it's been because of politics. And those two things really, okay, COVID, that is death. The politics thing is just really ridiculous because, haven't anybody heard that one thing you shouldn't mix is like religion and politics to get along? Come on. Like we did a lot of, at least back in our day, we just knew don't talk about the religion and the politics and we'll be okay. But all of a sudden that went out the window and we have problems with that too. And yet this is the other thing I find is a problem is that we should all respect everybody having space, right? But then if I say respect my space, then I get pissed off when you tell me, Lynn, respect my space.
Yeah.
What's wrong with this? So it's not a duality here, right? But then we got to realize that I have my space, you have your space, but there should be the common circle that intertwines us, that links us, where we can have that gap where we can communicate, the safe zone. And we have lost that.
That's what's missing in politics. Exactly.
Yes. And that is where we're having problems because, and this is why we call this show As We See It. As we see it, we have a common thing. We have an attraction to each other. We have this energy between us. We have this thing that we love people. Haven't you heard I'd love to hate this person, but I can't? Now that's what a lot of people feel about me. They would love to hate me, but they can't. And that's because I give them freaking love. I sprinkle them with love, and I'm serious, because I don't care if they don't like me or not. I'm going to love them. I know they don't like me. I'm not an idiot. I may look like an idiot because I'm loving somebody that hates me. I was married for 19 years. My in-laws hated me. I gave them so much freaking love. It was disgusting. My ex-husband said, they fucking hate you. And you still, I don't care. I'm still going to love them. Okay. I'm not stupid, but that's the thing. What happens is you wear them down with kindness. You're showing them what they're missing. You're teaching them what they lack. You're teaching them what they never had. And that is showing people love that they need. And when they are ugly, it's because they had no other way of knowing that that's the way you're supposed to be. They want to repel you, and they can't understand that you're not going away, because love will kill them with kindness. Love will conquer all things, I believe.
Lynn, I couldn't agree with you more. And I used to love politics. I used to love getting involved in that kind of stuff. And there always used to be, there always seemed like there was this thin thread, this link that somehow we got the two different parties, we got the different sides, we got right versus left and so on. But there's always that little thing, that common good that was supposed to bind people together. Now we pulled so far away from that the common good is floating out in the middle of nowhere with nobody representing common good. Now it's all about our side is right and our side is right. It's about the way I'm going to tell you how good I am is by telling you how bad they are, instead of just being a good person. But it's no longer, there is no common sense, there's no common ground, there's no common interest, and there is just no kindness. It's all gone from our system.
But Scott, this is the problem. Nobody's hearing exactly what you said, right? They're not actually listening to what you're saying and saying, and then saying they can't even. So even if you're saying something that they believe, they can't even say, wow, Scott, I believe what you're saying. Like, so it's really funny, because if you start mirroring them and start saying what they're saying, that's when you know that they're really not listening to you. So if they say, I like so-and-so, and you say, well, I like what so-and-so did, and you're saying something on their side, and they can't agree that you like something they said, they're not listening to you. So like they say, who's the stupid one here?
I'm telling you, we got a common vote that put people in office. I think we should also have the ability for common people to come together and take somebody out of office. I believe it's time to say, if you're not representing our interests, you do not represent us anymore. There's no other job in the world that you can do where you could screw up so royally and turn your back so quickly on the things that you promised to do, where you wouldn't get fired. It's politics is all the way. The only other job that you could screw up that badly is weatherman, because weatherman gets shit right about 1/4 of the time, and they still get paid their paycheck. But politicians, they get it wrong almost 100% of the time, and they still get paid. They still get their vacations. They still have their health care. Everything that they need is still in place so that they can sit on their high thrones and throw stones at each other. The problem is, as they're throwing stones at each other, it's raining down on all the people who are in the middle. The stones, the rocks, the pebbles, and all of the mudslides are hitting us directly because we stop paying attention. We put people in office whose only job is self-interest. We got a country where we've got a school shooting 2 weeks before Christmas. We got families grieving, and we still don't have a country that can come together and say, we need to make a change in our gun laws. And I'm not even saying what change it should be, but the fact that some people are just saying, not ignoring it, not doing anything about it, tells me they should not be in public office because your interests are not represented by them. Mm-hmm. It's time for us to make a change. Now, I don't want to make this politics, and that was way too much politics. And I apologize to our listeners. I apologize to you, Lynn, but I'm going to tell you this, is until this country adopts common sense once again, we are in the same boat as the people who took the boats to come over here. They were represented. They were being taxed without representation. That's exactly what's happening to us now.
But this is the same thing. Without getting political, this is the thing. Even the good people, because they see that the people in politics get so people throw stones at people that are in politics. All the good people are afraid to stand up because they're afraid that they'll get ridiculed because of something in their past. And I'll use me as an example. back in the day, I would have ran for office and all this, but did I want anybody to know I was sexually abused or how I felt or anything in my
Yeah, it's
life?
true.
I'd be like, hell no. I don't want anybody to know what I went through. So of course, because if I went in there, I would have been a whistleblower. But then shit, somebody would have killed me, and that would have, because I would have told the truth or whatever. But again, it is that everybody turns their back and this and that. And we've allowed the system to be the system. And we are not about politics here. We're talking about this is how we personally see it. We're being open-minded to hear each other, and you guys, our audience, can say what you want to. And that's,
Please, yes.
but we're saying that again, like I've got the Fuji cup here. And like I said, if I'm holding this here and you only see the F, you're going to think I'm holding an FU bottle. You don't know the whole story. It's just that we're sharing the whole story by showing you the whole picture. Is that we're not taking judgment. We're showing you the whole bottle. But again, it's just that nobody's saying it's a safe place to talk. And
Right.
it's just, if you could get some people that are willing to talk with love. Look at the back in the day, there was people that couldn't even say whether they were gay or not because they didn't want to be disowned by their own freaking family. That's pretty freaking shitty. Okay.
Absolutely.
Same thing that goes. I was told by my abusers, if they told my parents what they did to me, my parents would disown me. I'd never be able to get married in a white dress. I'd never have kids. All this shit that when you're in a vulnerable state growing up, you don't know what to believe.
Right.
Again, this is the problem with the world when kids are masked. And, that's why I don't believe in kids. When you have kids, you're responsible to have your kids be in a safe environment so that they can be healthy with healthy, way of growing up and having their own, memories. And the reason for the season, if you happen to be in a situation where your kids are going to be in a situation that's going to bring them bad memories coming later, make the best for them. Do the best you can for those children, because you know what? I wish I could have did better for my kids. I know all of us that are older wish we could have done better for our kids. But for those of you that still have a chance, it's not about you. It's about your kids and the memories you can make for them. So, that's how I see it.
Absolutely. You know what, people, when we put in the title like As We See It, and you have personalities like Lynn and mine, this is what you're going to get. It's going to be we're going to have topics. We're going to be doing certain things, but honestly, it's a bag of crazy cats, and once we open it up, you don't know what kind of shit's going to fly out. So we just hope you can keep up with us.
We got viewership. We're doing good. I think everybody, you guys okay with us? Are we doing okay here? Just a yes would be great, or a 1 would be great. Just let us know.
If you're watching this another time, then message us on Facebook. Let us know what you think. But, again, here's the thing. We're not going to try to make it too different because it wouldn't be us. No. It's always going to be a little bit out there. Let me tie my end into the season right now. All this stuff we're talking about, the world is a broken place, and societally, personally, relationships, politics, jobs, race equality, gender equality. It's a broken place. Some areas we're trying to get better, some areas we're not. But I want to remind everybody of the words of Gandhi, and which I'm not the big guru on the mount. I don't study all this stuff. But he said, be the change that you want to see in the world. Everyone sits around and they talk about how the world should be better, but are you doing your part? Are you doing it to make it better? This holiday season, let's practice that. When you're with your friends and with your family, treat them like the people that they should be treated like. Treat them like gold. Don't just love them, but have value in that love. There's a difference between loving somebody and valuing that love. Put value where it belongs, in your friends, in your family, in your household. And that's how we start to make a change in the world. Make your household a beacon for how you want the world to be. And then that will expand out. Too many people out there are just bitching and moaning while they are drinking themselves into oblivion, using drugs, being violent, inciting anger. That's not helping. Be the change that you want to see. Start this holiday season with your friends, your family. And I'll tell you what, every once in a while, maybe once a day, say something kind to somebody who's a total stranger. Don't go on dark alleys looking for them, because that could be a problem. But in a grocery store, standing in line, at the bank, wherever you might be, just say something kind. And you'd be amazed how fast the world could change if everybody took a little piece of that and did that. That's how I see it today, coming up on Christmas. Make this the beginning of the change that we all want to see.
And Scott,
Yes.
one thing you and I can definitely agree on is a little music.
I didn't sip my coffee. That would have come right out of my freaking nose. Oh, Lynn. You can tell she's got moments in the day where it's just like, I got to do some crazy shit just to feel good. And yeah, practice random acts of kindness. All of those things. Absolutely.
You guys, it's been an honor and a pleasure as always to spend any time with you, Scott, even if it's just online.
No, it's great. It's great. I'm glad we could do this again,
Yes.
Lynn. It's my honor to be working with you and for us to put this out
Yes.
there. Listen, this isn't meant to be like the most awe-inspiring show that you guys have ever seen. This is just a place where people like Lynn and I, and people like you guys, as we see it, means you too. People like you guys can just express whatever you're feeling about whatever you want to feel. There is no wrong answer. There is no right answer. Nobody's opinion is above anybody else's. But just sharing and doing that, we might find a lot of common ground, maybe even a little laughter along the way, like we do every once in a while. And that's why we do this. We're so glad you guys could join us for that.
Thank you, guys. We're going to get out of here, and we want to just say thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you next Tuesday night.
Peace and love, people.
Love you guys.